I've never really travelled much, let alone somewhere as challenging as Kenya. I'm going on safari far from five-star hotels, so it should be a bit of adventure. Kenya straddles the equator. It's just over twice the size of New Zealand and has over 50 parks and game reserves. I'm going to see just a few of them. Well, I'm here. I've arrived. I'm in Nairobi. I have no idea what to expect. I'm in a foreign country, and it's going to be an experience. I've done a little research to find out the sorts of things that can go wrong, and here they are. AIDS, yellow fever, dengue fever, giardia, cholera, typhoid, hepatitis, polio, diphtheria, tetanus, meningitis, rabies and tuberculosis, to name a couple. I can't drink the water, I can't eat the local food unless I peel it or cook it. And then there's only heat stroke, jet lag, prickly heat, diarrhea, bilharzia, filariasis and leishmaniasis, but we don't need to go that far. So there are so many things to be worried about. I don't know what I'm going to be worried about, so I'm just going to get out on the road and see. First up, it's south to Amboseli National Park. Then back north to Samburu, the Elsomere Conservation Centre, the pink flamingos of Lake Nakuru, and lastly to the Masai Mara. But first, I have 24 hours here. Nairobi is a bit bigger than Auckland and is one of Africa's richest cities. But the sparkling skyscrapers and herds of land cruisers rub shoulders with appalling poverty. I expected a nice African smell, and all I've got so far is dust and diesel smoke. Crime is so rampant, they call the place Nairobbery. The Kenyan currency is the shilling, a hangover from British colonial times. A New Zealand dollar buys just under 40 shillings, which is enough for a coffee, although you'll need $2 for a beer. Being white means I'll be charged double what things really cost, sort of like an unofficial tourist tax. This taxi to the outskirts of Nairobi is costing me about $8. It's like a society in the last stages of decay. It's kind of odd. You don't think that people can make lives out of this sort of stuff. Bizarre. I've just stopped to have a look at what is essentially a slum housing development, I suppose you'd call it, on the side of Nairobi. It sort of has grown around the outskirts of the town. This one and the one on the other side of Nairobi combine to make up the largest slum dwelling area in Africa. It's confronting. I was sort of wondering where they all went to the toilet and things like that, which are particularly Western questions, I know, but think of the numbers of people here, it was kind of disturbing. And right next to them we have a gated community right in their face, which is, I guess, difficult. I figured these people were squatters, but no, it costs $25 a month to live in this. There are no real toilets, no running water and no electricity. It smells like a rubbish dump. I just can't get my head around people living like this here and now in this day and age. The government census counted 80,000 people living in less than 1 square kilometre. That's like cramming all of Tauranga into Queen Street. Soccer's big here. I'm walking around in a completely foreign environment. I feel very odd and quite out of it. Kids sit amongst the rubbish instead of sitting in school because it's just too expensive. I couldn't imagine living like this until I met Anne. Anne sells chicken and charcoal to make a crust. She's only too happy to share a slice of her life with me. Her home has no windows and there's barely a door. Okay. Ciao. Hello everyone. Muzuri sana. You have very beautiful children now.
Thank you. It's a blessing from God. Whatever it is supposed to be done for them, I do it.
So Anne, this must be pretty hard for you, raising your daughters on your own like this.
My husband ran away. he left us here. That's why I decided to stay there where you met me and sell charcoal. What I do, I sell charcoal.
Boys come ahead fast, girls come ahead fast, bid in this kingdom of fire.
She's shy, huh?
She's shy. Yeah.
It's a real privilege for us to be invited into this, and thank you for that.
I'm very grateful. Yeah,
we're very grateful too.
Appreciated.
Anne accepted me just as I was. I wasn't sure about my own reaction. Cheers. I've just been to the slums, which I saw this morning when I first arrived, and was quite taken aback by. And then being invited into the middle of them, I felt very strange. I felt fat, 40, and strangely alien. And yet, what I encountered was a great deal of friendliness, and some fantastic heart, and people made me feel welcome, which was odd because I'd come from a culture of such largesse and they have so little. And living in this scenario where they make ends meet in such difficult circumstances and still have the generosity to say, you're welcome here, was something remarkable. So I feel very privileged, and at the same time I still have no frames of reference. I'm still finding them. So I guess the process here is to allow the things that happen to wash over me and try and make sense of them, which I'm doing my best. But if this is the first day, wow. So here's to Kenya. Asante sana. I needed tonic for the soul. So just outside the city is an elephant orphanage run by the David Sheldrick Trust. Elephants who lose their mums come here until they can fend for themselves. So what's the name of this elephant?
This elephant is called Toma.
Toma?
He's 1 year old. We take care of them for the rest of their life, but here at the center we stay with them for 2 years. And then we take them to Savo East. Now in Savo we introduce them how to stay in the wild.
Right. That's so amazing, eh? The skin is soft, slightly leathery, and they're hairy too. And they also have this distinctive smell. It's quite musky.
Yeah. You can give a finger to suck.
Okay.
If she does that.
Yeah. It's amazing. By snuffling up to me, Toma, I'm told, will recognise me for the rest of her life. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm not sure which one's been adopted here. So cool. So you stay with them for 24 hours?
Yeah, we stay with them for 24 hours. And we sleep with them at night because they are fed after every 4 hours.
One thing that's universal with all kids